So we will start the instructions. So what I'll do is I'll give you a brief overall of the practice. Then what we can do is we'll discuss certain ways we will behave in the retreat also. So overall, you may have already attended other retreats. You may have done other meditation techniques. You may have experienced. So what we are teaching is not the same, and it is not completely different also. So there are certain parts of it you may find similar, and certain parts you will find different. So whatever meditation you are doing, you are gaining certain amount of understanding. So certain amount of understanding is referred to as vipassana. So vipassana is the insight which you gain. So meditation is done to gain the insight. What we call our practice is metta vipassana. And one more thing, can we get the booklets which we had? So then we can distribute. So we will give you a booklet also. There will be certain brief instructions in the booklet which I am giving now is also mentioned in the booklet. So it's not something which is unique which is there. So you will be able to understand certain aspects, and when but there are certain aspects of every practice which is there, which has to be kind of followed. So one of the main things which we say is that you should not add anything to this practice which you are saying, or nor remove it. So one way I explain this is, say if you are doing an experiment, so you are in a chemistry experiment department in your say school or college, okay, and there is a two chemicals you have to mix, and one person takes a test tube, which is clean, and one person takes a test tube which was previously used and does not we have used for something else. Now they put the chemicals. Who will get the perfect result? The one with the clean tube, because there is nothing from the previous which is kind of coming into this practice. So in the same way, you have to see if this works or not, and how will you be able to find out if it's working or not? That is not adding anything or not removing anything. So the instructions which I are giving, so you have ample time to ask for clarification. You can ask questions, and when we are giving a talk also, you can raise your hand and ask the question. So it does not, you don't have to wait till I end. Even now in the instructions, if you don't understand anything, you just raise your hand and ask the questions. So we will clarify what is there. But if you are true to the practice, if you are true to the instructions which you are giving, only then you will know this works or not. Okay. So what our practice, my teacher calls him is samatha vipassana. Samatha is the tranquility, and vipassana is the insight. And we are using metta as the object of meditation. Thus, the practice name we are calling it is metta vipassana. So metta is a part of the Brahmaviharas. Brahmaviharas are four mind states. The Buddha is saying that these four mind states which are there are the pure mind states which are there. Where you can stay there and there is no harm you will face. One is the loving kindness. You feel some love or some kind of affinity, which is not has does not have craving or attachment in it. That is loving kindness. Then there is compassion. When you see somebody in misery, you have compassion for them. Then there is sympathetic joy. When you see others kind of success, or somebody succeeding, then you feel joy for them. That is sympathetic joy is there. And then there is a higher mind state which is there, only reached through meditation, which is called equanimity. So equanimity is not possible generally in your life. You cannot stumble upon it, and you cannot just fall into it. You have to go through the process of meditation to reach this mind state which is called equanimity. Equanimity mind state is a balanced mind state. So it does not have the craving also, it does not have aversion also. So it has a balanced state of mind. So when you are doing our practice as we teach you, you will slowly progress through this path. So you start with metta, which is loving kindness. Then your mind develops and you go to the second, which is the compassion and the joy and equanimity. So you will progress automatically. You don't have to do anything. You have to just follow the instructions which we are giving. So in any of your practice you may have reached tranquility, or you may have gained insight. But this path, the Buddha says, is a balance of those things. So you use tranquility and you use the insight which is there. What is insight? Insight is knowing something. And how do you know that? So certain times you just look at it and you know. So there are many sciences which are there, which is just about observing. So you see the science of the birds which are there. So how do you know about birds? What is the method they find out? The scientists find out, huh? Watching it, just observing it. The bird is there. There is one bird were very famous in our childhood, which was cuckoo, which would lay eggs in somebody else's nest. Now, how do they know how that happens? They just observed that there was this kind of bird was there, but it is going to that kind of nest and putting the eggs and laying the eggs in a different nest. And they know that, okay, this is the behavior. So in the same way, we are also learning from our own, watching our own mind, by observing our mind. And to observe our mind state has to be in a very tranquil manner. So one of the other things which we call this meditation is a smiling meditation. Okay, why do we call it smiling? Because we have to have that light mind to be observing and to stay in that uh, process of observation. So that's the reason smiling is not an optional thing, it is an instructions, it's not a suggestion. Okay, so it's a part of the instructions which we call it smiling. So when we are starting this process, we are starting with a mind which is light. And when we are sitting also, we are sitting in a way which is comfortable. Okay. So you will start sitting on the floor. Okay. But at one point of time, if you feel that this is not comfortable, then you can shift to the chairs. We will provide more chairs also. We'll ask them to get us more chairs also whenever possible. So you sit in a way which does not cause you pain. So start with a comfortable position and then continue sitting. So there is no one of the things my teacher Bhante Vimal. So there are two names I'll be repeating. One is Bhante Vimal Ramsi or Bhante, which is my teacher. Okay, Bhante means teacher, but we used to kind of refer to him as only Bhante. You know, Bhante Vimal Ramsi. So people refer to me as Bhante Dhammagavesi. But we refer to, when I say Bhante, it's my teacher I am referring to, not myself in third person, but my teacher. Okay. So Bhante Vimal Ramsi, and then one other name we'll say is Sister Khema. Sister Khema was the senior student of Bhante, and she stayed in India also for some time, and I assisted them both for a while. So my teacher Bhante Vimal used to say that there is no magic in the floor. Okay, this is a practice done with the mind, not with the body. So it is not about sitting in a lotus position or kind of making yourself in a way that gives you pain, but it is a way of understanding. So that is the fundamental thing about the practice, which is that we are doing it to understand, and we understand our mind. What is the easiest way to understand the mind? What is mind? So that's a philosophical question, no? What is mind? But what we can do is we can say attention. You know where you are paying attention just now. Okay, you may be paying attention to me or paying some attention to your thought. Your eyes may be at me, or but your attention may be at the thoughts. Okay, so now we know about our attention which is there, and how our attention is functioning. So we can know some things about the attention, which is that where our attention is there. And that is what our investigation of the mind is there. So now if you want to know our attention, then what has to be done? If we follow attention here and there, then we don't know where it was and where it has gone. So if you just think about now also, your thoughts are going from one thing to another. What is he saying? I am not understanding. Or where is it going? So there is something which is there. So then we have to have an anchor for our attention. So when that anchor attention is moved, then we know that our attention mind has moved. So thus the object of meditation becomes important. So object of meditation is to anchor our attention, and we learn from the process of the mind through the movement of the mind. Okay, one of the definitions of meditation our teacher is giving is, we remember to observe how our mind's attention moves from one thing to another. What is this one thing? Which is our object of meditation. Another is the distraction. So if we say you keep your attention on metta, that would be your object of meditation. And whatever comes to take your attention away, that is a distraction. That could be, you may get a thought of, oh, I have a thought, I have a good idea to end world hunger. It's a positive thought, it's not a negative thought. But is it a thought related to metta? No. So then you say that is distraction. Then you recognize, then you release, relax, re-smile, and come back. So I have said a process over here. Now that process is called right effort. Okay, which we say 6 hours. So there are 6 hours over here where we bring our attention back. Okay, so first thing, how do we start with? Where do we start our meditation with? Metta, or object of meditation. Our attention is with object of meditation. Can we give the book? Let's maybe somebody. Okay. So you will see that there is a process of metta which has been mentioned. That is, process of 6 hours that has been mentioned, which is very important. So that you have to understand. So what we do is we start with something which is pleasant. We start with an object where we put our attention, and that object is a feeling. That feeling is of loving kindness. Now, how do we start generating that loving kindness? We can think of something which makes you happy. Okay, that can be very unique to you. Like, say, if you are at one of our student was there, he said that he is happy whenever he thinks about a big tree, and they make him happy. Some say that when they think about dolphins, it makes them happy. Some say if they think about a flower, it makes. So it can be very unique to you, that whatever makes you happy. One of the easiest examples which we give is having a child in your lap. So whenever you had a child in your lap, or a puppy which is there, or a kitten which is there, how do you feel? You just remember that feeling which is there, and you feel this in the heart. And this feeling can be very faint, so you don't have to have any kind of preconceived notion of how that feeling has to be. It does not have to be glowing, or it does not have to be kind of strong feeling. There's just, with the imagination of something which makes you happy, how is this feeling? It may just be a feeling of very calmness, or just a soft feeling that may be there over here. So you start with that feeling and just put your attention over here, and then you allow yourself to feel these feelings, and you start with may I be happy. Okay, so you say may I be happy, and then let this feeling grow. So this practice which is there is about 90% on the feeling. 5% of the effort has to be there on the verbalization, which is like to remind you. So after you have imagined something, you let go of that image also. Do you hold on to that image, thinking of the image? Then you are getting distracted by that image. So you are not into the image, or holding on to that image. You just think of that image which makes you happy. Let the image go and stay with what is there, the feeling which is there. So this is a feeling meditation. Okay, it is more of a feeling. So you stay with this feeling and you say, may I be happy, and let yourself feel this happiness. Initially, you may stay with it for 10 minutes. Even if it is taking some more time, then stay for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever feels comfortable, you sit with that. And then you send it to one person, which is called a spiritual friend. So there are certain qualities of a spiritual friend. So that is also mentioned in this booklet which is there. So what are the qualities of a spiritual friend? One of the things about the spiritual friend is that you genuinely feel they should be happy. There is one person in your life, you feel that they do good things and they should be happy. So that is the person you have to take. They don't have. There are some don'ts also in this. One is they don't have to be your family member, because if family member, there is a lot of other things also associated. We say that our wires are tangled with our family members. So just be sure that when you are taking a person, he is not a family member. Second thing is the person should be of the same gender as you are. Third is the person should be alive. There should not be a person who has passed away or in seriously ill. So that is the quality of a spiritual friend which is there. You genuinely feel which is there good for that person and want him to be happy. And then you say, may he be happy. And that is just a intention. So you don't have to push it to hit the person, or don't have to send it that feeling, but have the intention. So now I said it is 90% on the feeling, 5% on the verbalization. So what is the next 5%? Visualization. Okay. So not every person is visual. So if you are not visual, don't worry about it. But if you are visual and you can kind of get the images, and you can imagine your friend in your heart and smiling. And this feeling which is there, you are sharing with the friend which is there. So you don't have to push it, you don't have to radiate it, you don't have to do anything. Like when you open a switch on a bulb, what happens? The light goes automatically. Okay, nothing has to be done by the bulb other than switching it on. In that same way you share this. So we start with the object of meditation. Object of meditation is the feeling, and that object of meditation, to get that feeling started, like when you start a fire. So when you are gone camping or something like that, you collect some leaves, dry leaves, and then you put in a spark, like you matches, or if there is a rubbing stick, or there is a lighting stick which is there, then you put in a spark. When that spark is there, that small fire is there, then you put in more kindle, and then that fire grows. In the same way, you start with something which is making you happy. Okay. This can be a small puppy, or a baby, or some place you have gone, and you felt wonderful over there. You saw a mountain, and then that feeling of calm and happiness arose in you. So then you say, you keep your attention on that thing which is the feeling, but you let go of that image. Do you stay with the image? No. You just let go of that image and stay with this feeling which is there. Then you say, may I be happy. And feel this feeling. And whenever your attention gets distracted, then what you do is you recognize. So first thing is that you recognize that you are not with this feeling which is there. So when you are there with this practice, you will recognize there are some thoughts coming up, but they are not distracting you. The thoughts may be in the background about am I sitting correctly, or there is too much sound, or it's too cold, or something like that. There's some background thoughts are there, but they are not taking away your attention. But you still stay with this feeling which is there. Okay. But at one point of time, you will say, oh, I'm thinking about something very different. Your attention is not over here. So when I'm looking at you, I know my attention is over here. No, so I can be sure people are standing or sitting. If I'm looking over here, I can know that in the both ends, if they are standing or sitting, I can be aware of. So in that sense, when I'm aware of those thoughts, I don't have to siksar them. When I get distracted, say if I am seeing over here, then I know I'm not with you. I'm not with you and addressing you. Then what I do is I recognize this. First is the recognition step. Then is release. What is release? Release is letting your attention go from that thing which is arose. It is not fighting with it. Okay? It is not suppressing it. It is not making it go away. It is not changing it. You let it be. So if there is a thought of, say, office, most of the time you have come from office or home, there is something unresolved, or you are thinking, oh, that I have not told him about that, or we have not got the groceries, or something like that. Some thought of the things, because you have come from outside. So all those thoughts are still running. It's like a ball rolling, they have such, that energy is still there. So your mind is still functioning. So the first day which will be there will be the most difficult, because the first day when you come over here, your mind is still in motion, and because mind is still in motion, it will not calm down. So we are not fighting with the mind. So you recognize and then you release your attention. So that means that this whatever has come up, let that thought be. So you're not trying to make it go away. You recognize this, bring your attention to your head and relax. Relax is just letting it go. So when you are having some tension, and you just let that tension go. So like if you are keeping your hand on the air, so there is some tension which is there, which is keeping your hand. Now if I let the tension go, it will go. The hand will go. So you don't have to do anything about the hand. You just let the tension. Just try this. Keep your hand floating, and just see that there is a tension which is building up in your hand. Now just let it go. So now when you let go of the tension, the hand goes away. So in that same way, you just let it go once. That is relax. Then you re-smile. When you re-smile, where do you smile? You smile with your mind, you smile with your eyes, you smile with your lips, and you smile with your heart. Okay? That is, you be a smiling person. You be the smile. And then you just sit there and just come back and remind yourself. When if you are sending it to yourself, you remind yourself saying, may I be happy, or may I be peaceful. And then just keep your attention. Now, again your mind will go away. Why your mind will go away? Because there is certain amount of craving which comes with the thoughts which are coming up. Okay? There is certain amount of pull which is there. Again your attention goes away. Then again you say, I recognize. You don't blame yourself. You don't don't get frustrated saying that why am I like this, and just recognize this is there and release. Let it be, whatever thought has come. Relax, re-smile, and come back. So, and repeat whenever it is required. So that is the 6 R's which are there. So recognize, release, relax, re-smile, return, and repeat whenever it is required. So this is a do it again and again. So repetition is a part of the practice. That means that the fundamental fact of the attention is that it is not under your control. So there are certain things you understand about your mind which is there. So the Buddha is giving a fundamental reality, a picture of reality. Now this picture of reality is that everything is impermanent. Okay, so even if you consider this universe, and the scientists do the research, and the theoretical physicists, they say there was a big bang. Okay, before big bang something was there, then there was big bang, and then at one point of time there will be heat death of this universe. So this universe itself is impermanent, which is there. Everything which is there, which starts, ends. So there is an impermanence which is there, inbuilt in everything. The second thing the Buddha is saying is there is dukkha. What is dukkha? Dukkha is not pain, but the resistance which we have. So this is the reality, and this is us fighting the reality. Okay, so our mind has busyness in it, but we want to fight with the busyness. We want it to be the way we want it to be, not okay with as it is. So then that resistance which is there, we see that dukkha which we are creating for ourselves, the suffering is there. The suffering is being created, and but who is creating the suffering? We are creating the suffering. Why? Because we are not accepting whatever is there in the reality. Now the environment is cold. Okay, so the coldness will not give you suffering, but if you start resisting the cold, then you will have suffering, or you start liking the cold, because this cold will not remain. Tomorrow the sun will come up and it will warm up, and then you have to let go of this cold. So that resistance which is there in everything which is happening. So in our mind also, you see the mind is busy, we are blaming our mind, we are fighting with our mind, we are resisting this busy mind. So there are certain amount of against the reality which we are always, but we are not realizing that we are, how we are against the reality. So that resistance which is there, we learn from that resistance. So now the third reality of the universe is the impersonal nature of things. So Buddha says that everything happens cause and effect. So because of cause and effect, certain things arises. Based on the cause and effect not being there, what has arisen based on the cause and effect goes away. So you see that there are certain things which are arising. You are not directly involved in it. So when you are watching your mind, you are seeing, you are being with the spiritual friend, or you are being with the feeling of metta. You see your mind get distracted. Now, how did the distraction come? Where did it come from? Where was it staying before it came and showed up as a thought? So you see that there are certain things which are impersonal, where you are not involved. You are sitting there comfortably, but then there is a pain which arises. How did that pain come up? Was it because of your sitting? Was it has come up on its own? So that is the we are seeing the impersonal nature of things. So as we are looking at the meditation object, we are seeing certain fundamental reality of the universe. So this is how the universe is there. The universe is there based on cause and effects. It is impermanent, and the main thing is when we resist, we create dukkha. It is not the pain which is the dukkha. It is not the cold which is the dukkha. It is not the warmth which is the dukkha. Which is we kind of are resisting the pain. We are resisting the cold. We are resisting the heat, and thus we are creating our dukkha. And that is how we create the problem. So there are certain amount of distractions which is there in our practice which is coming. So there is formal. There are 5 distractions which are there. But Bhante Vimal Ramsi, my teacher, says that anything which obstructs is an obstruction. So one of the word for distraction is obstruction. Why? They are obstructing our practice. So something which comes, which becomes a obstruction to the practice which you are doing. Okay. So that is what also we see, and we let that go. Okay. So now what are the formal 5 hindrances which are there? One of the hindrances is that you want something. Okay, so you want to see something, you want to hear something, you want to smell something, you want to taste something, you want to touch something, you want to think about something. So these are the senses which we have. Okay, the 5 are the body has the senses, and 1 is the mind. Okay, these are the 5 senses. So you want something, you want to have it, you want to maybe have a idea of listening to a music or something like that, or smelling a flower, or tasting. But when you are sitting, you are having all that things which are, I want to do this, maybe I just want to have a tea, and your mind says I want to have tea, then you will get up and go, because you are not understanding this process of the mind and body. So those are the things, hindrances which are there. Now there is another is aversion. I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to smell this. I don't want to taste this. I don't want to feel this. Or I don't want to think this. So then there are other things which are there which you oppose, that I don't want. Then there is sloth and torpor. Sloth and torpor is you get sleepy. Okay, and you feel your mind is dull, and you feel heavy. That is sloth and torpor. Then another which is opposite of sloth and torpor is restlessness and remorse, which is there. Restlessness is you have a lot of thoughts is coming, and you feel there is a lot of energy which is there. And then the 5th is the doubt. Am I sitting correctly? Am I doing this correctly? Am I spending enough time on the object of meditation? Is the feeling correct, or is it too much feeling, or it is too little feeling? So all that kind of doubt and everything will come in the mind. So this is a common thing which is there for everybody, because when you are doing the practice, all the things which are there become evident, and then you learn from those things. And how do we what do we do with the hindrance which comes? We fight with it? No, we just let it be. We don't try to change it, we don't try to make it go away. We just be aware that it is there, relax, re-smile, and come back. One of the other attitudes towards the hindrances which are there is that hindrances are not your enemies, they are your friends. Why are they friends? Because they reveal to you your attachments. Why does certain things come again and again? If you're thinking about your job again and again, then you think you know where your attachment is there in the job. If you get your say family issues or fights or something like that, then you know that you are attached to that thing. And when you know where your attachment is there, what you can do? You can let it go. Okay? When you know that this is the thing which is kind of holding me hostage, then you are able to let that go. So that understanding which we develop from our observation of our own mind gives you what? Insight. So that is Vipassana. Okay? That just by observing, we can see that there is a lot of things which you can see which is happening in the mind. The mind is getting distracted. There are certain things which are happening which is getting distracted. There is a way to get back to the object of meditation. If you just let it be and come back immediately, what you are not doing is you are not addressing the craving which is there, which the distraction is bringing. So your mind gets distracted, and then you directly come back. You don't release, you don't relax, you don't smile and come back. Now what is happening is when the mind is getting distracted, your body and mind is has craving. And how does that craving reflect in the body and mind? Which is tension and tightness. Your body becomes tight. So whenever you have done meditation in the previously, you would have noticed that tightness in your body or the headaches which are coming up. Why was that happening? Because you did not address that craving. You did not relax, you did not smile. And because you did not relax and smile, you became tense. And then the people blame the meditation itself. Oh, why is this happening? I cannot meditate, I cannot sit. I have pains come up, strange pains come up. And that is something which happens because we are not addressing the fundamental reason for that coming up. And that fundamental reason is the tightness, which comes with cravings. Now that when it comes up, you let it go, smile, but you are not using the six R's as a stick to make things happen. If you have tension or you have tightness, you are not using six R's to beat it away. You are not using as a stick to kind of make some things happen, but you are just trying to be with the flow of the reality as it is. You just relax once, smile, come back. Again, your mind distracts. Then you again come up, relax, smile, come back. You keep on doing that. That is how you develop something, by repetition. And you don't blame yourself for getting distracted, but you learn from it that okay, my mind is in this way. You accept the reality as it is. You are not opposing reality, you're not fighting the reality, you're not trying to change the reality. But by seeing what is the real mind which is there, seeing your mind itself, you are gaining insight into your mind. And when you have insight into your mind can be directed at whatever the task you want to do. But for this period of the meditation, you will follow the instructions which has been given. Okay. So one of the main things is that when you are sitting, you have to sit for minimum 30 minutes. Okay, minimum I said, huh? So maximum can be any amount of time. Some people have sat for 6 hours and 7 hours also in the meditation. But I don't expect you to start with that in the initially, okay? So 30 minutes minimum. So if you open your eyes and look at the clock and the time has not been over, then what you can do is you can close your eyes and continue your meditation. Okay? So just because you opened your eyes does not mean that you have to break your sitting. You see that okay, it is only 25 minutes, then you close your eyes and continue. One of the ways you can extend your sitting is by saying to your mind, I will give myself 5 minutes. So if your mind is very getting agitated and you want to get up, then you say, I'll just give my mind 5 minutes. Then again your mind says, I want to get up. Then again you give 5 minutes. I'll give myself 5 minutes. Say in the third time your mind is asking you to get up, then get up and start walking. So when you are sitting in meditation for 30 minutes, then you walk for 15 minutes. Okay. So whenever you are walking also with the same object of meditation, with the feeling which is there. But you are walking also for some exercise. When you are sitting, your blood goes to your legs. Okay, you are sitting in one single position. So when you are walking, what happens is you have to walk a little faster. Means at a normal pace, or a little in the way that your heartbeat is beating faster. So when you are walking, you walk for also exercise, and you keep your attention on the ground. You are not seeing over here. You are not walking for sightseeing. Or here it is very difficult to kind of be distracted also, because it is a paved path, and the spaces which are there, where a lot of spaces which are paved. So you have to be careful to walk also. You have to be mindful. So you have to see where you are walking, and you are not looking here and there. And you can continue with the feeling of loving kindness in your heart. You can have your attention on this thing and keep on walking. And if you are there with your spiritual friend, what you do is you can imagine your spiritual friend walking with you. Okay? So I'll repeat the instructions once again. You start with something which makes you happy. Okay? So what are the things which can make you happy? You can give some examples. What are the things which will make you happy? What would make you happy?
Being in the mountains.
Being in the mountains, yes. And some other example? Huh? Swimming in sea. So you imagine that you are in the mountains. You don't have to imagine, but you can have to imagine. You are very far away from the sea. So imagine just the sea which is there, and you are there in the sea. You are just swimming, and that happiness which is there. But what you have to do away with is the image. After you have this feeling, you let the image float away. Let the image go into the background and just be with this feeling which is there. And you say to remind yourself, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. And just stay with this feeling which is there and let this feeling develop. It may be 10 minutes, it may be 15 minutes. Initially, if it is 15 minutes also, it's okay. Then you bring up your spiritual friend. You have to have one spiritual friend. That spiritual friend has not to be changed. Don't change that person. You select one spiritual friend and stay with that spiritual friend till we tell you. Okay? So we will be having interviews. So we will be speaking to you and seeing how you are progressing. And based on that, we will give you instructions. Okay? So that spiritual friend which is there, you don't change unless we tell you. Because at a point of time, we will ask you to change. You can bring in other people. Then whatever restrictions we are giving you over here for a spiritual friend, when you go home, that restriction does not apply. You can send it to family also. You can send it to deceased people. Those are also included when you go. But this is a training period. For this training period, we are giving you those restrictions which is there. It has to be a friend. It should not be a family member or the opposite gender, or somebody who has passed away or grievously ill. So not that they can have some illness, that is not a problem, but they are not on a deathbed or something like that. So those people you don't take, because then you get complications based on that. So then you send it to your spiritual friend. What you say is, may my spiritual friend be happy. As I am feeling, may he feel. So that intention has to be there. Your attention still remains on this feeling. In the heart which is there, this heart area which is there, this area of the heart, you will feel this feeling which is there. And that your attention is still there on this feeling, and you have the intention to share. So you're not pushing it, you're not trying to spread it, you're not trying to direct it, or you're not trying to think about your friend also. So don't think about your friend and the meetings which you had in or the trips you went to the with your friend. You are not trying to kind of imagine those things. That image also, you let that go. Okay, even if the friend's memories and everything comes, let it be in the background. If you get distracted with your friend memory, what you do? Release, relax, smile, and come back, and just stay and say, may my friend be happy. It is verbalization is just for reminder. Visualization, not everybody is a visual person. So a person, if you are a visual person, then just imagine your friend being smiling and in your heart. If you don't, you cannot imagine it, that's also okay. You know your friend, So just have that intention to have this shared with your friend. How I feel, may my friend feel that same way. And then you continue. Again, you see your attention distracted, then you recognize, release, relax, re-smile, and come back. So that is something which you have to do. So over here, you will see that 6 hours which is there as a chart has been given in the middle page. So if you just go for the middle page, and then there is one more chart. So just open the middle page, you will see the 6 hours which is there on your, I think, right, my left, so your right. Okay, you see this chart which is there of 6 hours. So till this point, have we understood this? Any questions? Hmm?
Why does there have to be of the same gender?
Because certain times emotions which are there can be misunderstood when you are sending it to the opposite gender. That's the reason we have the same gender actually. Any other question? That's a good question. So we have understood this. One thing about in the meditation is very important is the pain. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Also related to this, but you said when we are relaxed, that's that we focus our attention from the object of distraction to our mind, brain.
Yeah, over here if you see the when you kind of relax this, you relax your body also, but you if you feel tension somewhere else also, that also you relax, let that tension go. Because normally when we relax our mind, our spine is connected, then we can relax our shoulders, and then our torso can be relaxed and the limbs can be relaxed. Okay, when you start also, you can start with some relaxation. You can smile and just relax your head, relax your shoulders, relax this torso, relax your limbs like arms and legs, and just feel that relaxation. And then you can bring up a feeling or an image which makes you happy. Just be more relaxed and smiling. And then you see, by this process of relaxation and being and seeing your attention, you will learn more and more about your mind. Because one of the main things is our tool in our day-to-day life, in everything which we do, is what? Our mind. Okay, anything which you see over here in this room was first as an imagination in the mind, and then there was a plan, and then there was an execution, but everything for that required mind. So we know the least amount about the main tool which we have to deal with everything which we are dealing in our life. Family, friends, career, everything we deal, and we kind of interact. What is the tool we are using? We are using the tool of the mind, and the least amount which we know is about this same tool. Why? Because we are not observing it. And this process gives us the opportunity to observe the mind, to see how this is there. And then you will see that there are certain spaces you are having access to which you did not have before. Okay, just the ability to stay with something, just the ability to stay with, and you will be surprised. So in any retreat, which is a common about any retreat, is people start with the first day struggling to sit for 30 minutes. By the ninth day, they are sitting for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So almost all retreats which I have done, there is somebody who is sitting for 5 to 6 hours at the end of the retreat, and they started with half an hour. There are many exceptions, but there are certain retreats where some people are sitting for 7 hours, 8 hours. In my teacher Bhante Vimalamsi's retreat, I have seen personally people sitting for 12 hours. But that happens because we understand our mind and body. It does not happen with force, but understanding. It is not forcing yourself and making you sit, but by understanding this process of our mind and how this getting up happens. If you understand why you are getting up, then you are able to sit. But if you are not able to understand how you are getting up, then what will happen is your mind will knock you off the sitting and take you here and there. Sometimes your mind will say, oh, let us just go out of this premises, and just because I am very frustrated over here. Mind will say a lot of things, and you will be surprised. The good things also, and the very ugly things also. You will be surprised. But the thing which you have to remember is not to take it personally. Okay, when we take it personally, then only we create the problems. When those things come up, if we take personally, we make it real. But if we can understand 6 hours, then what happens is whatever comes up, we can let them go. Because one of the things you will understand is whatever thoughts which are coming, you are not asking them to come. You say, did I ask this thought to come? Did I kind of say that I am not frustrated for a long time? I will now become frustrated. Now I think it is my in the schedule to get frustrated. No, frustration will arise. You will be aware of this. There will be anger coming up in your process. Did you say that it is now time to be angry? But no, the anger will come from nowhere. In the same way, there are certain nice states of mind also arise. One of them is called piti or joy. So when you are started doing the meditation, there will be certain times you just feel this joy come up from nowhere. You don't fight it also. You don't try to hold on to it also. You just are aware. In the same way, when I told you about the resistance, you don't resist it or you don't try to hold on to it. If you try to hold on to it, what is the reality? The main first reality which I said, what was that? Impermanence. Because it is impermanent, it will change. Other reality is it is impersonal. So because of causes and conditions, that joy arose. Based on the causes and conditions changing, the joy will also go away. So just you see that there is joy arising. Then there is a feeling of very much calmness will come up. And then there is a confidence which comes up. Oh, I know what I'm doing. This I'm getting a hang of it. That kind of a confidence will come up. And there is a like a cooling down effect which is there. You become cool. Then there is a process of passaddhi, which is called tranquility. You feel just nice you feel. One of the ways the Buddha explains this process is like if you are sitting in a lake, okay, which is the same temperature as your body temperature. The lake temperature, water temperature is the same as your body temperature. You are sitting in the water till your neck. How comfortable, if you are there in the water, how light you feel, So that feeling of lightness which is there. But the temperature is also the same as your body temperature. There is no, you don't feel that. You don't oppose or kind of like it. That feeling is of lightness. So then you may feel that certain times your body parts are disappearing. Certain times you may feel that your legs are not there. Certain times you may feel your arms are not there. Or certain times you may feel just one arm is not there. And what you pay attention, that you can feel it. But if you are just in your meditation, that's a kind of a very tranquil process. Certain times you feel like a floating head. So those kind of nice experiences also you will naturally come into, because you are creating the causes and conditions, not that you are wanting it. Wanting something, can you get it? In meditation you cannot. Okay, but you create the conditions for it. What is the conditions for the creating is stay with your object of meditation. If your mind get distracted, what you do is recognize, then release, relax, re-smile and return back, and stay with this as long as possible. Repeat when it is only needed. So don't have to 6 hour everything. Okay, one of the main things when you will find in the meditation is also the pain which you get. So there are two kinds of pain which is there. One is a physical pain. Physical pain arises because the way you are sitting, the way you are sitting, the physical pain arises. And how do you know how it is a physical pain? When that physical pain becomes unbearable, you get up. Okay, now you get up and start walking. When you start walking, that pain which is there becomes reduces over time. Over 5 minutes, over 10 minutes, it reduces. And there is one other kind of pain which is there. It may feel the same way. It is called a meditation pain. Meditation pain arises because the way you are sitting, the way you are sitting, the physical pain arises. And how do you know how it is a meditation pain? When that physical pain becomes unbearable, you get up. Okay, now you get up and start walking. When you start walking, that pain which is there becomes Now, how do we consider the meditation pain? So, when you, at certain times, when you just say, this is too much pain, I'll get up, that pain goes away. Immediately goes away. Just the thought that I'm going to get up, that pain goes away. Or the pain goes away as soon as you get up. Or in a minute, that pain goes away. So as soon as you get up and you are not even crossed the hall, that pain is gone. You can't find that pain. My teacher Bhante used to say that he got a pain in his meditation for a long time. It was something like somebody stabbed him in the arm, and that knife, there is a knife, and he pulls the knife, and then he twists the knife. That kind of a pain he used to have in the arm. Before that, what he used to do is he used to fight with that pain, suppress that pain, and try to make it go away. And what happened for 20 years? That pain stayed there. And whenever you are sitting in the meditation, you would again get that pain. But then he understood the way he is teaching us, which is with the relaxation, with smiling, with taking it easy, not forcing, not fighting. By doing that, he understood, and slowly, slowly, this pain, he stopped fighting with it. When you are stop fighting with it, what you are also not doing is you are not giving it energy. So one other concept you have to see, that where you are giving your energy, and what is your energy for all the things which comes up as thoughts, as feelings, as emotions. What is the source of that? That source is your attention. Wherever you put your attention, that thing grows. Okay. So when Buddha says that understanding this food or nutriment can lead you to awakening. Just this one thing, if you understand, it can lead you to awakening. One easy way of explaining it is from a Native American story. There is a chief which is there. He is teaching his son to become his heir. So he is teaching his son, and he says that there are two wolves in your mind. Okay, one is the evil wolf, and one is a good wolf. Now, the wolf you feed will become stronger and win. So if you keep feeding, kind of feeding the evil wolf, then the evil wolf will become stronger. If you keep feeding the good wolf will become stronger. So in our case, what is that feeding? Is our attention. If we keep our attention on the distractions, what will happen? Distractions will grow. Okay? And if we keep attention on our feeling of metta, what will grow? The feeling of metta. So that is how we can see how this our attention is the food for everything which is coming up. So one way of understanding it is that if your attention moves away 50 times, and you 50 times you bring it back in one sitting, still this is a good meditation. Okay, it is a busy meditation. Your mind has a lot of energy. There is restlessness also is there. That is also okay, but it is still a good meditation, because whenever you recognize, what you do is release, relax, re-smile, and return. Okay, so this is still a good meditation. What is the bad meditation? When there is a distraction and you stay with that distraction, then you are stopped doing meditation, because you have become involved in the distraction. You are where all your energy where you are giving to that distraction. So it will become more stronger. There are two ways to make distraction stronger. One is putting your attention on it. Second is trying to suppress it. If I am trying to suppress this, where is my all my attention? Over here in this. So what, where I am giving my energy? Over here I am giving the energy to whatever things which I don't want. So you are not fighting with whatever is coming up in your mind. Okay. It is like in a way they talk about in judo. Huh? You take the energy and you let that energy go. Huh? So you redirect your energy. So you don't keep that energy to the distractions. You give energy to what you want to grow. That is coming back to your spiritual friend, wishing him well. And how you deal with the hindrances is also the same way, by seeing the energy which is there. Okay. say the energy is of restlessness, that means that there is a lot of energy which is there, you are restless. Then what you do is calm yourself, reduce the energy, relax more, smile more, and take it easy. Don't fight with this busy mind, just let it be. Let that thoughts come and go, just let it be, just relax and smile. So you are taking away the energy when their mind is busy or restless. Then the mind is sleepy and slot and torpor is there, then you give some more energy to it. One of the ways is to sit more straighter. Okay, now I was sitting comfortably, now I am sitting uncomfortably straight. Okay, you sit a little bit straighter, then when your mind is going, then you just catch yourself nodding, as soon as you're nodding, then you catch yourself, and then you pay more attention to your object of meditation, which is your friend and this feeling, and you wish them well, and then try to visualize your friend. So what you are doing is you are putting in more energy, your attention, you are putting in more attention. So that is how you kind of manage your practice also with the managing of the energy which is there. And the whole process is also something which happens when you are understanding that when you start with the process of mindfulness, everything else will take care of itself. So there is a if you are not familiar, there is a concept of 7 factors of awakening. Okay, satta bhujanga it is called in Pali. So some of the I will be using some Pali words, which is habitual because some of our audience are very well versed in Pali. So I will try and make a glossary of the Pali to English. I saw that there is no suitable one which is there currently with us. So I'll try and make it in a day or two, and I'll provide you. So this is 7 factors of awakening. Now that starts with mindfulness. Okay, so mindfulness is the start. So the Buddha says if you mindfulness is that, the investigation happens automatically. The second factor is investigation. So if you are observing, say like you are in awareness when you are sitting. So you will do you know that your mind is restless, or you will not know? You will know because your observation is there. Will you know that you are sleepy? You will know that there is plot and torpor is there. You will know. So that investigation happens automatically. Then you have the third factor is energy. The balancing of energy you will do because you are knowing that this is happening. So when there is slot and torpor is there, you put in energy. If there is restlessness is there, you take away energy. You relax. You take it easy. Don't fight with it. So that is how you balance. When that balance of energy is there, then there is joy arising, which is automatically arising. You don't have to have a volition that joy should arise in my meditation. It will automatically have. When the mind has joy, body is tranquil. The tranquility of the body will arise automatically. You don't have to do anything special for that. When your mind and body is joy and tranquil, then what is the next stage is samadhi. Samadhi is your collected mind. Your mind is able to stay on a object of meditation. That just being a concentration. Also, there is one other translation of samadhi is concentration. One other way of saying is jhanas. So your ability to be in with one of the objects which is there. When your mind is there with and steady, then you go into equanimity. So when you start with mindfulness, all of the other things will develop automatically. You don't have to develop everything separately. Okay. One of the things which are supporting factors for this practice is the precepts which you are taking in the morning. Okay. So Manjulaji will start taking precepts from tomorrow morning. Okay, we will be in 8 precepts. One of the factors of the 8 precept is not to have meal after midday, unless there is a reason to have the meal. Okay, so if you have any medical reason, or if you feel that you are not able to survive without the dinner, only then you sign up for dinner. Okay, or you don't you try and see that if you can be without food. Okay, because one of the ways your body is taking away energy is to digest the food. So one of the examples you may have the idea, oh, how can I survive without dinner? I have been having dinner all my life. So I'll tell you my case when I had first gone to Thailand. Okay, so that time I was very much afraid of the concept of having one meal a day. So in Thailand, when I used to have maybe 5 meals a day and then snack a little bit more. So I had this fear that how am I going to survive? So when the first day, when they had this meal in the morning, they used to have the meal at 9:30. Okay, 9:30 they would have the meal, and then that was the only meal of the day. So I took a bowl and filled up the bowl, and then took some things in my hand also, like cakes and some drinks and everything. And I said I may need all these things for survival, you know. So I ate the whole bowl, and I ate all the cakes, and they have this soya milk. They give you a lot of soya milk. So I drank the soya milk, and in the evening I'm feeling that I have not still digested the food. The food is still there in my stomach, you know. I had eaten so much in the morning that in the evening also I thought, okay, then I said I will have to reduce the food, you know. Then I just filled up the bowl. I did not take anything in my hand. And then I said, okay, this is also seems to be too much food which is I'm eating. Then progressively I started reducing my food till the time I was eating just a quarter bowl, and that was enough for me to survive. So we never know what our body needs. Okay, what why we eat is also one of the fears which we have of eating. So if I would say that try to not eat dinner, but I will not force also, because this precept which is there of not having a meal after the midday meal is given for the practice, to facilitate practice, to support the practice. And if it is becoming a hindrance for you, then it is okay. You can have the meal. If you feel that you are becoming too hungry or that problematic, then what you do is you keep silent when the sixth precept is there, and you can have the meal which you want to have in the evening. But I would strongly urge that to try and not have, and see how your mind behaves, how your body behaves. Sometimes it can be really eye opener that you are able to stay without the meal in the evening. So it can really kind of give insight into that. So in Thailand, when I stayed there for say 7 8 months, I had gone there to ordain, you know. So then I stayed there as a lay person for 1.5 years, then as a white clothed person, then I ordained over there. After 7 or 8 months, when I was a Samanera, I stopped having the evening. They used to give us some coffee, tea, and certain things which are called allowables. So I stopped that, and I used to have only one meal, and that is on the morning. So that also it is all about how you adjust with the things which are there. Okay, so just see how you are able to adjust with that, because the evening meals are made based on your requirements. Okay, so how many of us would be having evening meals? One, two, three. Okay, four. Okay.
First 2 days you'll decide you can have, and then later you can also change.
If you have medical reason or something like that, you can, or if you're taking medicines or.
I never eat lunch, so I would prefer to skip. My digestion is not used to food in the middle of the day, so I prefer.
So that is also okay. Then that's not okay. Don't make it into a problem also. That it's a way of supporting the practice, and don't make it into a kind of a practice which is being a hindrance. So yes, there are 4 or 5 people who said that. So normally, what happens is we would have the talk at 5:30. Okay, and the meals which are there, they keep for 6 to 7. So is it okay if they keep the meal, they will keep your meals on the dining area, and then you can go and collect that meal. So they will keep it till 8:30. So even if you start at 5:30, even if the talk is longer, we will end by say 7:30 most of the day. One or two odd days we may end at 8. Okay, so you will have the time to go and have that meal. So that is okay. So we keep it at 5:30. Okay. Then we'll keep our talks at 5:30, and I will ask them to kind of hold your meals over there. Okay. And then I leave it to you that how you want to kind of manage that aspect. When you are taking the precepts, then only thing is when the sixth precept is there. That sixth precept is based on the food. Then you keep quiet. You don't take that precept, and you take other precepts which are there. Now, one other precept which is there over here is the right speech, which is there. Okay, right speech is the fourth precept which is there. Now, that fourth precept is also very important. Over here, what we are going to do is we are going to have noble silence. Okay, that means that we are not going to talk among ourselves. What you can do is you can talk to me, you can talk to Manjulaji. If you have something which needs help, like kitchen staff or the managers which are there, which is Vikraj and Akruti. If there is some certain things which are there, then you can speak to them. Only that also when it is needed. One of the teaching of the Buddha goes to meet his cousin who is also a monk, and then he asks, "How do you stay over here?" There are three of monks staying in one place. They say that we don't speak to each other. Even if it is required that some things cooperation is required, then only we gesture when it is needed, or when we are over here, we don't talk. Okay, that is how they used to practice. So this is a way of calming your mind down. So when you talk, what happens is you have mental activity. Only then that can speech can happen because of mental activity. But when you talk, you are disturbing your mental activity. When you speak to somebody, what is happening is their mental activity is getting activated. Then somebody is listening to you and they are also getting disturbed. So don't whisper, don't gesture. Uh, and if you need something, you are able to speak with me. You can ask questions, you can clarify. And regarding questions, I have these notepads over here. If you want, you can write your questions over here. If you don't want to ask in this thing, you write it over here in the note, and then you can I can answer those questions. Okay. So just now we had a retreat in Deer Park where they asked a lot of questions. They kind of finished by all the sticky pads. So just ask questions because that is a way of clarifying for yourself. And some people may not even have that question, but something may get clarified with others. So asking question is the best thing for you and others. So you can ask and discuss. So there will be some discussions which are there, like in the morning, you may have a discussion on the Buddhapada verses, which Manjulaji will take. So that we have an opportunity to speak. But rest of the time among yourselves, you should not speak. If you even if you are coming with friends, then make sure that you are not interacting with your friends, because that would mean that you are making yourself disturbed and your friends practice also disturbed. So that is the one which is there of speech, which is there, which is also a part of the you should consider it a part of the right speech or the precepts which you are taking. Okay, so there are precepts which are taking is a very important aspect, because precepts are a fundamental fence which we are creating. So they are very simple, which is there. We are generally we may be following that precept, which is not to kill or harm living beings. Second is not to steal. Third is not to have in this context of the this thing any sexual activity. Fourth is having right speech, which is when you are silent, what is happening? You are following all the speech. There are actually right speech has four parts. You don't lie. You don't have divisive speech. Divisive speeches go to one person and say something, go to another person say something and make them fight. That is divisive. You kind of divide people. Then there is harsh speech. Harsh speech are using the four-letter words and cussing, all these things which you don't use. Then there is frivolous speech like gossip, talking about this and that, useless things. That are the pattern which is there. But if you keep silent, Are you able to use any of the speech patterns? No, no. So then you have to be silent. So then you will be totally following that precepts. Then fifth precept is very simple, which is that not to use intoxicants. You all know intoxicants are a way of dulling the mind, which can be any kind of psychotropics or something like that. But if it is a part of medicine, it is okay. Like cough syrup may have alcohol, but it is a part of medicine. That is okay. In certain foods also there may be some kind of alcohol which is there, like rum cake is there. Then that is okay because you don't get intoxicated by having rum cake. But maybe liquor chocolates which you have, that can make you intoxicated. Then that is not okay. So the precept is very clear, not to have things which will make you intoxicated. Why? Because mind is the tool we are trying to examine. We use our mind, and but if we fog our mind, what would happen is we will not be able to see. If my eyes, I depend on my glasses to see. Okay, if I keep putting say black soot on the glasses, then will I be able to see correctly? No. So my aim of being having vision would be not fulfilled if I keep putting something on my glasses. In the same way, when you are having psychotropic things which are like intoxicants, you are dulling our mind and we are kind of obstructing our tool which is there, which we are trying to examine and use. So that is the reason we don't use it. Then having meals, not having meals makes life simpler. You don't have to think about the food in the evening. Yes. Coffee allowed. There are coffee, tea will be there in the evening, and there may be soup also. Soup is also allowed. Okay, so coffee, tea, soup, if you want to have, you can have.
What time they are going to give coffee, tea, soup?
They will give at 5 o'clock. 5 to 5:30. That is the your coffee break is there. There you will be there. Coffee, tea will be there, and you can have juice also if you want to have. So I think a part of our retreat is coffee, tea is there, but I'm not sure. I think they are charging for food separately. No.
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever you want to have, you can have. Like if you want to have soup, you can have soup. If you want juice, juice is allowed. Coffee, tea is allowed. That are not considered to be meals. Then you don't use perfumes or jewelry. Why perfumes or jewelry? Jewelry and perfumes can distract others. If you use perfumes, then your smell can distract somebody else who is sitting. That's the reason the perfumes are not allowed. And jewelry which makes sound or a kind of clinking, clanking, then that also can distract others. So those kind of jewelries are not allowed. And then the last precept was about the sleeping arrangement. But sleeping arrangement, many of the or almost every meditation center is according to the our practice, which is not to use high and luxurious beds. Now, high and luxurious beds are very different kind of beds with canopies, and they were very kind of high beds. But that is not available in any of the meditation centers, you know. So that is the reason we have kept that eighth precept as being loving and kind in everything. So whatever task you do, you carry this feeling of loving kindness which is there, and you are getting a lot of time also. Okay, for yourself. So one of the things is about sleep. We have lights out at 10. You get up at 5:30. So how many hours are there in that? Calculate, huh? 7.5 hours. So you are getting 7.5 hours of sleep. Then you get 1 hour time after for the breakfast. So you go for breakfast at 8 and you come back at 9. Okay, 1 hour you get break. You can go to the breakfast, you can do something, clean your room or something like that, or rest, have a kind of rest if you want to have. Then you get a break at 11:45. So we have to just inform them. We are now having lunch at 12, but I think we'll have to have it at 11:45. So 11:45 you go from here, and then you come back at 1. Okay, so 11:45 to 1, that also is more than 1 hour. Okay, you are getting time. So that time you can have a nap also. Half an hour, 1 hour nap is possible at that time. Then you get half an hour at 5 for coffee. Then you will get some time after the talk to have a bathroom break. Then go for a bathroom break, come back and sit for meditation. So you are getting enough time for yourself and rest. I'll just give a contrast with my teacher who had gone for meditation in Burma. So he has done many meditation retreats. This is considered a long retreat, 10-day retreat. But my teacher had done 3 month, 3 month retreats. For 3 months, the retreat remains. He did one retreat which was for 8 months, and one retreat which was for 2 years. In the 2 year retreat, when he was there, they were allowed to only sleep for 4 hours. 4 hours was the time they allowed him to sleep. So after 1 year, there is a rains retreat period for monks, which is an intense practice period for 3 months. So it's called rains retreat. So in that period, he went to his teacher, and his teacher asked, "How many hours are you sleeping?" He said, "4 hours." He said, "You are sleeping too much. Sleep 2 hours." And then he said, "Okay, I'll do that." And he was sleeping only 2 hours in a night. And that was a very intense thing, he said, because he was 6 foot something, he was a big American monk, and he became thin as kind of, he said ribs were showing. He started eating more food because he needed a lot of energy. So he was eating more and more food, and he tripled his food consumption. Still, that was not enough for him because he used to fill his bowl, but still that much energy was required. So to stay awake, a lot of energy is required. That's the reason we are not giving you that heavy practices of sleep deprivation. You have enough time to sleep, enough time to rest. In between, there are gaps also. So, what do you do in the rest of the time? What do you do? Yes, 6 hours and do the meditation. Okay, that is what you do in the rest of the time. So, how do you do that? Is say you are sitting in meditation, your mind is saying to get up. You even try to extend it, but you want to get up now. Okay, so now you get up from meditation. What do? You do walking meditation, and after walking meditation, what do you do? Sitting meditation. So that is how you spend your time in the gaps which is there. Okay, so in the morning, after the precepts, you may sit for some time. Then there will some yoga also. So she'll talk about some yoga things now. She'll check with you how you want to do it, and then you can go for breakfast, come back. Then from 9 to say 11:45, what do? You do walking and sitting meditation. You start with walking if you want to, then do sitting, then walking, sitting. You spend your time over there. Don't after getting up say, okay, now what do I do? Be here or there, or go to your room. And the other thing is not to read. Okay, reading is something which is a distraction. You have been given a booklet which is there. That is booklet you have to read. That are the instructions and things which are relevant for the practice. Don't read this and that things. If you had some novels or some Dhamma books also, then keep them aside. After 10 days, you will have ample time to read and do whatever you want to do. As of now, this will give you more insight and into the practice itself, and that will be very fruitful. You have come from a lot of distance, huh? And you have given up some amount of time. So if that time is very valuable, the only thing which we have in a limited capacity, which we know, is that we have limited amount of time. The Buddha said that we have 100 years, and that also if you kind of cross 100 years, you know that your time is very limited, huh? So and they are not productive also. 100 years, more than 100 years, people who are living, they are not productive also. So what is that which we have is productive time, which can say 100 years. So one example the Buddha gives is there is a teacher in the past. There was a time, there was a in the past, there was a teacher. He said that life is like a bubble which is created in the rain. Have you seen bubbles getting created in the rain? How fleeting those bubbles are. They come and they go. So you should not waste your time. You have to practice and use your time productively. And that time the lifespan of people used to be 60,000 years. That time the teacher said that life is like a bubble. So how much more when our lifespan is just 100 years, and then out of this 100 years we are just giving 10 days to this retreat. So use your time productively. All your time will be sitting or walking meditation. Don't kind of distract yourself and this thing. Today, I think you can go to bed early. Many of you must have traveled, many of you must be tired. But from tomorrow till 10, you are supposed to practice. I'll request you can take one session of guided meditation also with them. Just now. You are tired? No, okay. So maybe she can take a small session, maybe half an hour session of guided meditation. So it will be a nice reminder and for this practice which is there. Okay. So there are certain things which are there in the practice. So I'll just ask some questions to see if you have got it. Okay. So in this meditation, what is important? Where is your attention? With the feeling, okay, the feeling of loving kindness. Is your attention with the images which are coming up? No, they are not there with that thing. Are you kind of trying to suppress whatever distractions is coming? No, you are not trying to suppress it. You are just trying to let it be. Okay, you recognize, release, relax, smile, and come back. Okay, and when you are with your spiritual friend, are you trying to send the feeling to them? No, you are not trying to send it to them. You are just trying to have the intention of sharing. That as I feeling, may my friend also feel. And that is very powerful also. I'll just give you one example. I was there in a retreat with my teacher Bhante in Bali, Indonesia. So there was one participant which came to Bhante and said that there is a miracle which has happened. So what happened? So he said, I had a spiritual friend. When I was she was Malaysian, but she had gone for studies in America. So in America, when she was there in the graduate studies, she had a friend. That friend was very nice. She used to go to her house and she used to kind of spend vacation time in their house. She was very, but they lost touch. So she did not have any communication with her. So, but she thought that that was a nice person who was she wants her to be happy. So she had taken her as a spiritual friend, and she was staying with her as a spiritual friend for a long time. Then there was a call received, and somebody came and said, "Oh, you have a call." I said, who is there? So she went and took the call, and it was her friend. And she was very surprised that how did you know that I'm here in a retreat, because I stay in the capital city, Jakarta. But how did you know I'm here? She said, oh, I was remembering you for the last 3 days. So I said, I will contact you. So what I did was went to the alumni website. From the alumni website, I took your contact. Your house contact was there. I called your house, and the house said that you have come here for a retreat, and they gave me the emergency contact for the retreat center, and then I called you. So this can seem like a very fantastical thing, but just having that intention can be very powerful. This same thing happened with one of my students. Till that time, I was this was also just a story for me. But this happened a few years back in Mahabodhi. I had given a retreat. There was a person who was very skeptical. He was not able to understand the feeling of metta and all these things. He was asking a lot of questions, and he was a skeptical kind of a person. He was in his 60s, so he has set in his ways. Then after the retreat had been over, he messaged me that there is a very fantastic thing which has happened. I had a spiritual friend, and he was with his spiritual friend for some 7 8 days. So he said, when I went home, he called me and then just said, for the last 7 and 8 days, I am remembering you. Where were you? So that is something which can happen for somebody who is a skeptical minded person who is not even fully committed to the practice. So that intention which is there is very powerful. So you don't have to push or kind of throw the energy. You can just be with it and that intention, and that will go where it is required. Yes.
The question about metta, about meditation. So, metta, for me, it's not. I can get confused between metta or joy or like
Whatever is there, see, don't get confused. Whatever the feeling is there, that you stay with. If it is joy, then just stay with joy. No, so don't have any preconceived ideas that metta has to be this way. If that shows up as joy for you, then just stay with joy. Okay? Don't try to make it into anything. Just imagine which is there. And certain times when you sit in meditation, you can just see what is there over here. And you feel that there is some joy which is there already. Then you don't have to imagine also something. Just start with that joy. Okay? So that will happen in a day or two. That automatically when you sit, that joy is there already. So then you don't have to imagine anything. Just stay with that. And certain times, then this is so good that you don't have to even send it to yourself. After a day or so, you are already so familiar, you don't have to send it to yourself. You can directly share it with your friend. You say, may my friend be happy, and just stay there. It will automatically develop. You have to give it space and not have any ideas about that feeling. That's a very valid question. So because we want to say, oh, if it is a metta feeling, it's a loving kindness, it has to be certain way. No, it does not have to be certain. It can be just a calm feeling over here. The softness is there. That is also enough. A faint feeling is there. Just stay with that which is there. Whatever is there is correct. There is no wrong feeling which is there. Yes.
Then why are we told to focus on this particular Brahmavihara, not other?
It's a way to, because it is a wholesome feeling. So, one of the aspects of object of meditation is there are three aspects. One is a neutral feeling, which is like breathing, which is neutral, but you get bored with it. Your getting distraction is more when you are with breathing, and the suppression aspect also comes in more with the breathing, because you get bored, you are getting distracted. Then what you is there? You are trying to suppress everything to be with this. So the concentration factor becomes more with the neutral. Then there is the negative, so which is unwholesome, which is when you pay attention to that, unwholesome things grows in your mind. Your fear grows, or craving grows, aversion grows, all these things grows. That is an unwholesome object of meditation. Then there is a wholesome object of meditation. So metta is a wholesome thing, which is about joy, and it's about sharing. It is also a practice of dana or generosity. So we start with this generosity practice, and when you are generous, you how do you feel? You feel good, and when you feel good, you are able to put your attention and stay with the attention, and then it is easier for you to see what happens with this attention. And when you are able to see, then you gain insight into your own mind, your body and mind, how it is functioning. And when you gain insight into your body and mind, what happens is everything becomes easier. Because what is coming as hindrance is also coming as hindrance in your life also. Now, that's the reason we will have the interview process, as I told you. But to have an interview, you should have experience. So tomorrow we will not have interview. Tomorrow you will have meditation. Then I will give you in the evening a chart of timetable and how you have to work on that. Okay, so it will be in a way that everybody can be interviewed and everybody can be coming. So there will be time given, and then there is also a reminder person which is there. So that whole interview process we'll discuss tomorrow. And when we are doing this interview, we will be able to see what is happening, and we will be able to guide you. Because over here, if there are 20 people, okay, in this retreat, there are 20 different ways the practice is going. So there is no comparison. There is no bad practice. Only practice or no practice. You are left the practice means you are with the distractions and doing something else, or you are practicing. When you are practicing, there is some insight you get. So there is no bad practice and there is no wrong practice. If you are just not doing practice, there is no practice. If you are getting distracted and stay with the distraction, then that is not. And for our students who are done previously, then you start with whatever you are doing, directions you are doing, just start with your directions. Anybody else who has done previously over here, Metta Vipassana or Twin? Yeah, I know, both of you I know. So no, so the for the old student they will start with whatever they are ended with. So because there is a progression through this practice, and that's the reason we are having the interview. So we know and we can guide you through this progress in the practice. You stay with your spiritual friend till the time it is there. Some is there anybody who has a problem with getting a spiritual friend? Can you think of a person? If you the first person you think of, that is the person. Don't go through a list and go through a kind of benefit analysis. This is more and this is less. Huh? Just whatever comes first. Is some one person coming in your mind? Okay. So then just be with that person. Anybody who comes up first, you think of that, and there's a person pops up in your mind. Just hold on to that. Yes.
The same friend throughout the whole retreat?
Yeah, not the retreat to till the time we tell you. Huh? So there is a change which is there, but till the time we don't tell you, you keep with the spiritual friend, and don't get involved also in the spiritual friend. I told you about that, no? You are not getting talking to the spiritual friend. You are not imagining him and having movies. So people start making movies with their friend. That is also distraction. Just stay with this feeling and intention. The intention is, may my friend be happy. That's the intention. Just your attention is where? Your attention is with this feeling. Your intention is to share. And that sharing is a generosity. The Buddha says that it is a lot of merit is earned, which we call punya in Hindi, or in India we call it punya. No, merits are made, blessings are made, because it's a generosity practice which is there, and that is what we keep up with. Okay. So, is there any other questions? Yes.
What is the morning schedule? I wasn't clear. So we assemble here at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Then we have this morning precepts to be given. After that, we'll have half an hour meditation and then yoga. 7:30 we are planning for yoga. It will be half an hour to begin with. But if you
Yes.
all like little more, then we'll make it to 45 minutes, but not more than that.
Yes.
And depends upon how flexible you are, how energetic. And supposing if someone is having any medical issues, then preferably don't come for yoga. You will you can go for walking also. You can also have your own yoga. 6 o'clock first precepts will appear. So everyone in the hall for taking precepts.
Maybe
and
use the
reading.
mic. Huh? Use the mic.
No, it's
Not
some
working?
little difference. Hello, is it okay? So in the morning, 6 o'clock, we will have precepts. Then Dhammapada verses we will read. That will take around about 20 minutes, everything. Then meditation for half an hour, and then yoga. We'll decide the time for yoga. It will be 7:50. No, 5:30 is the wake up time. And 6 o'clock in the hall. 6 o'clock we will start. We are not going to wait for anyone. So we will start at 6 o'clock.
So over here, try and come 5 minutes early. You know.
Yes.
It is kind of rude also when the teacher is over here and the student is not there. It's considered rude. So be 5 minutes early before the teacher arrives. Okay? Yes, you had a question.
The instruction to practice is a bit unclear. Feeling
this attention on the feeling, instructions to go to the sixth hour. Where the spiritual friend comes into play? Is it like a dual shared attention?
Yeah, so we start with ourselves for 10 minutes and then you bring up the spiritual friend. So you start with yourself for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever is that, or what feels like it. You don't have to look at the clock. What feels like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or what feels like that this feeling is prominent, or you are able to stay with this feeling. Then you bring up your spiritual friend and say, may my friend be happy. Remember your friend and then have the wish for him to be happy. As I feel, may my friend feel as I feel.
My attention stays on the feeling.
Yes, yes, your attention stays on the feeling.
And even when I'm walking, I have to keep this one going.
Correct. Keep on this going. And walk a little bit in a way that your heartbeat grows. Don't walk very slow. Like in certain practices, you are walking very slow, like this, you are walking, just seeing all the movements. This has to be normal walk. Okay?
And
So you.
each time my thought of happiness can be different, or it has
Yeah, it can be different also. But when you sit and you have this feeling of happiness come up, then don't be with the thoughts. Let the thought go and just be with the feeling. After 1, 2, 3 sittings or one day, you may whenever you sit, this feeling is automatically there. Then you don't have to send it to yourself also. So initially, it is to just experience the feeling, to be familiar with the feeling. But say after one day, you may be very familiar with the feeling. When you sit, this feeling is there, and don't need to send it to yourself. Just directly share it with your friend. You say, may my friend be happy, and just stay with this feeling. And that's the reason guided meditation will also help. Yes.
Stay. What does it mean to stay?
Stay with the feeling is your attention is over here, and it does not move to distractions. So normally what happens is when your attention is there with the feeling, you may be aware of some thoughts which are there. In the background, some thoughts are coming, or some observational thoughts are also there. Commentary is there. Those are things are coming. So you stay with your attention will be with this thing feeling, not go with this commentary or thoughts which are coming up. Only if your attention moves away and gets involved with these thoughts, that is the time you use 6 hours. When now you are involved, you recognize, oh, I am involved, I am not with my feeling. Then you let it be. That is release. You release your attention. Bring your attention over here, relax, smile, come back over here to this feeling. And if the feeling is not there, then you can remind yourself, may I be happy, or may my friend be happy, and stay over here. Your attention stays. And then if this which is come up has energy, it will take you away. Again, let it be. Relax, smile, and come back. And that repeat step is again and again, do it again and again. Okay? So it will take some time to learn a new practice, a new way of doing it. And thus, the frustration also may come up. But when that comes up, don't fight with it. Just let that be. Certain times you say, I let that go also. Okay? And relax, smile, and come back. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself down. Don't kind of fight with your mind. Learn from it. Okay? So it is a practice of gentleness. It is a practice of understanding and being with what is there. It is not of, the point is not to sit for 30 minutes. The point is not to sit for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 5 hours. The point is to, by doing that, we learn how this whole process is working. And when we know that, then the sitting happens automatically. You don't have to do anything to kind of extend your sitting. It happens automatically because you are able to let go of that mind which is knocking you off your sitting. Then that understanding you develop, then sitting is a natural process and it will continue. And one of the things you have to take care is sit comfortably. So Manjulaji will also tell you about how to sit. Certain times you may have to use extra cushions when you are sitting. Ensure that when you sit comfortably. One of the things helps is giving some cushion to your back, like over here where he's sitting. So he has given some support to his back, but that is giving his support to the spine. That gap which is there between that, you use it well. Okay, so you are sitting okay, but one of the things may happen is when your leg is on another leg, your pressure may be there, so that may create pain after some time. So sit maybe in burpees way, which is like this. One leg is after another, not above one other. Okay, not like this, but like this, one after another. That helps. Second thing helps is giving support to your knees. I am not sure if there may be small
There are no.
cushions may be there. So maybe use those small cushions to support your knees. That is one other thing which you can do. Another is when you are sitting and you have back problems or something, you can take back support. That is also okay. So take the support of the back. Third is move to the chair. When you move to the chair, like I have a gap, you see, I'm sitting, but I have a gap over here in the back. Then you can keep the cushion which is there below the last spine which is there. Last spine is there. Below that last spine, you keep a cushion. So you are just elevated a little bit. And that gives you support to your spine. When you are sitting, it gives you support in the spine and it is easier. And then this also the head which is there, you can comfortably keep, or sometimes it helps you keep down, sometimes it helps just keeping a little bit up. Okay, you see what helps. One other thing helps is having a cushion in your lap. So when you are sitting like this, you can have any hand position. This is okay, this is okay, this hand position is okay, whatever helps. But having a cushion in your lap will help because it will give some kind of a pressure relieved from the shoulders. Okay, because over here the shoulders are going down. If you put something over here, then you will feel that there is a little bit relief to the shoulder which is there. So so see that when you start in a comfortable position. Yoga will also help become a little flexible, and then you continue. If it is not something which is you are able to handle in the floor, then go to the chair. Okay, as you kind of progress, you may want to go to the chair because you want to sit longer. Sometimes what happens is after a day, 2 days, 3 days, your mind wants to sit longer. You want is enjoying. Okay, to sit longer, and sitting 3 hours, 4 hours is a thing. Then you can ask. You should not talk now, but if you are allowed to talk, I would have asked them to also share. Huh? So, Gopiji, what was the longest sit you had in the retreat? 3 hours. 3 hours. Yes, sat for 3 hours. What was the longest?
2 hours.
2 hours. So that can be possible. That will be naturally it will happen. It is not that you are forcing yourself or fighting, but if you force, fight, and beat yourself down, you may sit for 2 hours, but then that is not of help. No, that is not the point of the retreat. The point of the retreat is to be in learning, and to be in learning with what? With your mind, with the observation of your mind, and learning and gaining more and more insight. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful retreat, and if you put in the efforts, 100% you will gain the benefits. There is no scenario where if you put efforts and do the practice, you will not gain something from it. It is 100% thing which is there. And only thing I said, there is two scenarios. You can be practicing or not practicing. If you're not practicing, then obviously you are doing something else. But stay with this practice, and you'll see that there is a lot which you can gain. It is like going in the river, as in the ocean, as one of the examples the Buddha gives is, as the ocean inclines and goes deeper and deeper in the beaches which are there, you can see that it goes, it inclines deeper and deeper and deeper, it goes, the ocean goes. So in the same way, the mind also goes slowly, slowly it goes and becomes calmer. So now the mind will be most active in the 24 hours. The next 24 hours, the mind will be most active. And there you will feel the most of the hindrances. And that's the reason we will read the Buddha's words tomorrow, which is related to hindrances. Yes. No? Okay. So we will be reading the Buddha's words which are there, his teachings which are there. So he gave it in a conversational manner. They are not esoteric teachings. They are not teaching which are kind of complicated. They are very easy to understand. Okay, one of the teachings I'll read today is from there are collections of teachings which are there. So this is a collection, numerical collection. This is a Anguttara Nikaya. It is a numerical collection. This is a encouraging way of the Buddha is encouraging. So I'll read one sutta which is called Anguttara Nikaya, book of 11, sutta number 2. So that is 11.2. I'll be reading. So this is about volition. Volition is our desired action, volition. Students, for a virtuous person, one whose behavior is virtuous, no volition need be exerted. Let non-regret arise in me. What is the virtuousness? That is following the precepts. The virtuous person is somebody who follows the precept. He gives his word and follows his word. So that is the thing which is there. So somebody who is virtuous, there is no volition which is required to say that non-regret arise in me. If a person is virtuous, non-regret automatically arises. For it is natural that non-regret arises in one who is virtuous, one whose behavior is virtuous. For one without regret, no volition need be exerted. Let joy arise in me. It is natural that joy arises in one without regret. For one who is joyful, no volition need be exerted. Let rapture arise in me. It is natural that rapture arises in one who is joyful. So joy is a emotion. Then there is a higher happiness, which is a rapture. For one with a rapturous mind, no volition need be exerted. Let my body be tranquil. It is natural that the body of one with a rapturous mind is tranquil. So the mind has joy, happiness. So his body is tranquil. For one tranquil in body, no volition need be exerted. Let me feel pleasure. It is natural that one tranquil in body feels pleasure. For one feeling pleasure, no volition need be exerted. Let my mind be concentrated or collected, or this is called states of jhana. So it is natural that mind of one feeling pleasure is concentrated. For one who is concentrated, no volition need be exerted. Let me know and see things as they really are. So knowing and seeing things as they really are is a natural act when your mind is concentrated. That one who is concentrated knows and sees things as they really are. For one who knows and sees things as they really are, no volition need be exerted. Let me be disenchanted. It is natural that one who knows and sees things as they are in disenchanted. So when you are seeing things which are there, then you are not so much attracted to it. So whenever the hindrances come, whenever those things which are taking away your attention comes, you are not attracted to them. The enchantment which was there with things which are distracting you is not there. For one who is disenchanted, no volition need be exerted. Let me become dispassionate. It is natural for one who is disenchanted becomes dispassionate. For one who is dispassionate, no volition need be exerted. Let me realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. It is natural that one who is dispassionate realizes the knowledge and vision of liberation. That is, you are not getting attached to anything. So when you have starting with the precepts, then you end up with the knowledge and vision. Knowledge and vision is why? Because you are seeing and learning. That is the reason it is knowledge and vision. So when you see, you learn. And by your own learning, that knowledge is there because of the vision which you have created, which is your own vision, which you are exerting in the practice. So that is how the practice works. It's also encouragement because if you start correctly, then all the rest of the states will develop. There is not that you have to develop 15 different things. You can start with mindfulness and you can end up with the equanimity. There is nothing which is like complicated over here. It is simply if you keep walking on the path will take you to the destination. So you have to just, what you do, have to keep on the path. So there is no wrong things which you can do. You can only do or not do. Okay. So that is what I would encourage you start with the thing, and we can have a small guided meditation. Any other questions are there? Okay, I think you have all understood the practice well. So, anyways, it will take some time. Reiterate, read the instructions once again, go through the guided meditations also, and see how much you can gain from it. Okay. So, before leaving, we will at the back of the booklet, you will see that there is a sharing of merit, and the last page, not on the back page. You will say there is a sharing of merits. So whenever we are meeting over here, we are discussing, we are reading the words of the Buddha, we earn some merits, and then we share this merits to everybody. Okay. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensations. So, this thing which is there, you can all read along with me. Okay, from tomorrow, just read along with me. If you want to read it aloud or silently, you can kind of follow me. Okay, so you can take this over. So what I'll do is I just help me with this mobile. Just give it to me.